I'm here at Advanced Rejuvenation with my new friend, Tom Kerber, and we're going to discuss not only why red light therapy or light therapy, photobiomodulation, is one of the most incredible ways to rapidly accelerate healing. Tom's got stories about helping people with thyroid issues, pain, cognitive issues, mental health, but we're going to also help you avoid one of the biggest mistakes people make with red light, which is buying a device that doesn't have enough power.
That's correct.
So Tom here is brilliant inventor and the man behind the helmet that you see right above my head. And he's leading the pack in creating red light devices that blow away anything that I talked about years ago in the Biohacker's Guide. Tom, can you tell us a little bit about where the state of red light therapy or photobiomodulation is today and how you're kind of leading the pack?
Yeah, so I totally believe in red light therapy that's out there. And yeah, you can get results with some of the devices out there, but there's also a lot of toys coming in from China and that. Yeah. And what we've done is just
Cracker Jack box toys.
yeah. And then what we've done is just it's like light therapy on steroids. We have some considerable light power. Like this helmet is delivering 25 joules every second to your brain from the whole area.
So 25 joules, make sense for someone that doesn't understand watts, milliwatts, joules.
Okay, so yeah, it's just a ton of energy. Instead of doing a half an hour or an hour treatment to get something coming into your brain, in 4 minutes, we're getting the dosage in there.
So you're able to not only condense time for people where maybe they would have to sit for half an hour with a different device to even come close to this.
Yes.
But additionally, as you explained to me earlier, the power density affects the amount of light that gets into the mitochondria, the amount that cytochrome C oxidase is activated, increasing the benefits, but it also dictates how deep the light goes into the tissue.
Correct. And what people don't understand also is the larger the area that the light is, because of the scattering effect in tissues, the light bounces around, actually aids to the depth. So think of it like a dartboard. If you had a dartboard and a large dartboard and you fire light just in the center, you'll get a little bubble of light in the center. But amazingly enough, if you put light all the way around the outer ring, that outer ring will also scatter around in the tissues and end up contributing to the depth that you're trying to go. So the more points of light, the more even the light source, and we call our devices the wall of light because it's a wall of light that's passing into your tissue as opposed to a few spots here and there.
Yeah. So basically, Tim Allen had it right when he used to say "more power." It's like,
exactly.
I
got the tie. I got the tie that has the electrical plug on it. Yeah, I love that tie. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. That's a funny thing. All right. So explain what we got going on above my head here, because I have a device at home. I got one of these helmets that's supposed to help your hair grow in thicker. And what I know is it's a Cracker Jack compared to this thing.
Yeah.
And this is you're seeing stuff for people that have depression, anxiety, mental health issues, possibly even
strokes. Well, we've seen beautiful stuff happen with people with strokes with this kind of stuff. One gentleman, he's 82 years old. He had a stroke 2 months earlier, a good friend of mine. And finally I convinced him, just come down. And he's just so busy. Just finally come down. You could not understand him on the phone up until the treatment. The next day, because he was slurring so bad, the next day you could understand him clearly.
Wow.
One treatment of 4 minutes with this.
Unbelievable. And so many people are experiencing strokes and different cerebrovascular diseases now, where this is going to be huge.
And the other one's concussions, PTSD.
Yeah. Right.
So TBIs. I had TBIs. So I've had one of the kids. He smacked his head against concrete, and he was really squirreled by what happened to him. And so they took him to the hospital. They confirmed that he had a concussion, and he'd ask his parents, why does my head hurt? And the parents would describe what happened. He fell in the concrete. At the same time, another kid fell on his head. So you got a double whack there. And then 2 minutes later, you say, why is my head hurting? And he did that almost for 24 hours. So he went under the light, and he's an avid reader, but because of the concussion, he was in a dark room. He could not read. no video stimulation.
Yeah. Light
Just
sensitivity.
light sensitivity. At the beginning, there was throwing up. There was different things. But then what happened is he went and did the light therapy, and the next day he was able to read a book. And so that was one. And then he had and that was a 4-minute treatment. And so we've seen multiple different concussions. Another kid that fell off an 8-foot high fence. He was in the dark room, all that kind of stuff, saw double. So he had a patch on one eye.
Yeah.
And this is day 8, was his first treatment on 8 days after the incident. Yeah. Still had the patch on his eye, could not, dizzy still, and all the other things. Did one treatment, 2 days later, he didn't have the patch on. And he says, yeah, I can see pretty good, but the far wall is still a little fuzzy. He did the treatment, came out of the room, and he's 4 minutes, and he says, hey, that's clear over there now.
Wow.
So very short.
Yeah, amazing. All right, well, let's fire this. This is why I love coming to Dr. John's place in Sarasota, Advanced Rejuvenation, because like he's got all of the best toys.
Oh, this is the best
toys. With the most power, and I meet people like you and Amy who's helping us film this thing. Let's fire this up and show the people what we got. Just like while we're killing time, so Tom here has a bunch of different devices, and he was telling me about a woman that had hypothyroidism. Her basically like her thyroid stimulating hormone was at 21 or 22. And normally, like, you want that. If your thyroid's good, that's like between 0.5 and 1. Yeah. Max 2.
Yeah.
Within 5 days of using his light therapy, it was down at 6, which is like, for people that have struggled with thyroid stuff, that's incredible and unheard of, even with very high amounts of medication.
And even then, another 5 days later, so day 10, she was at 1.7.
Oh my gosh. Fire this baby up.
Okay. What planet do you want to go to? Here we go.
You know, I've always...
here we go.
Whoa.
Holy balls. That is... Stay away from the light. This is incredible. So it's got to also be relevant for, like, the reason I bought that helmet was hair regrowth.
Oh, yeah. That's an easy one.
Right?
People have improved their hair with this.
I'm going to come out of this thing looking like Fabio. Have some Fabio locks. So what else is happening right now? We have, talk about the I don't want to go too nerdy with this, but the wavelength matters, right? The nanometers.
So right now we're using 660 nanometer.
Which is red.
And that's going to have a big effect on the blood, and the blood is going to absorb it. Very helpful for lymphatic system drainage, but also the blood flow, improves blood flow.
Reducing inflammation, accelerating healing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So we're just coming up to 1 minute right here now. Let me just see.
Been the best minute of my day, Tom.
And then what we're going to do is, because we're switching over to the near infrared.
Oh.
And the near infrared doesn't look very impressive, but actually there's quite a bit of optical power that's coming from this device, the same as what
dogs could see it, but I can't. You and I can't, right?
You can see it from here. It's just after that bright red light.
I can't see anything right. I thought if this thing wasn't humming, I'd think you turned it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the near infrared 810 nanometer can easily go through the skull. 660, 810 can go through the skull, but 810 goes much deeper. And that's, people think why, but it turns out your skull is a high mineral content, and you can shine light through. You can shine red light through salt, no problem.
Right.
In this case, you're shining red light or near infrared, which is in this case 810 nanometer, much deeper. So this is actually getting right into the brain with 810.
And I would also imagine, like, the work of Robert Becker showed that bone acts a lot like a semiconductor and amplifies electrical frequencies. Some of that probably happens with light, no? Or am I smoking peyote over here?
I can't comment on that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure what you smoked before you came in here.
Yeah, right. But guys, if you're interested in this, whether it's for cognitive enhancement, hair regrowth, mental health, stroke recovery, and that sort of thing, definitely check out. Where can they go to check out your work and your products?
Okay, www.sunpowerled, SUN power, POWER LED.com. But I definitely suggest to get a hold of Dr. John and his team over here.
Yeah, hit up Dr. John Lieurance and the team over at Advanced Rejuvenation. They've got all the toys with the highest power densities, and so you can condense time and get the effects that you're looking for.
And penetrate the depth you're trying to get.
You got to penetrate the depth, guys. All right. Thank you so much, Tom. This is
All right.
awesome. Thank you, Amy, Dr. John Lieurance from Advanced Rejuvenation. It's been a beautiful day so far, and we're just getting started.